So, we go again. Welcome back. Those who are rejoining me, the first Godcast of 2025. Jim McFadyen from the Vortex Centre for Wellbeing, the Darkness to Light Godcast, and really excited. I think would be the best way to describe where I'm at just now. After a really kind of challenging and difficult end to the year. Looking back over last year and everything we achieved, really from kind of January last year, when Michael and Fern came on board, and you know the first one day to change your life, the intention to document and capture all the stuff that I've been working on over the last nearly 30 years now. I had the realisation as I was out walking my pooch, who's lying up in the healing bed behind the camera. Earlier on today, I was thinking about how 28 years I've been doing this now, so more than half my life I've been working on this stuff, tools, techniques, modalities for myself, trying to heal myself, eventually healing myself, and then over the last since 2016, so 8-9 years since this place opened. The Vortex opened, really the intention to help people by sharing the stuff that I picked up that allowed me to find my way in this world. And last year was it was a really difficult year. It was an incredibly challenging in so many different ways. It's quite interesting when I think back to my previous line of employment, which was up until probably 2 years ago. Construction and work and and that kind of way of living and doing things, and then over the last couple of years when I've been in here, how this isn't really work, and it's very interesting watching myself going through it. It never feels like work. It's very different from the exchange of, for me, for long it was manual labour for a long time, working in building sites, and whether it was like building extensions and houses and fitting windows and all that kind of good stuff, where it's a really kind of clear understanding of the exchange and that there's a value against it, and then transferring and kind of transitioning into this, where very interesting, this whole business as to what it is. And last year was really about working that out, how it went together, what it was that I actually had in terms of the product, and the desire to give it to people, to help people. And then all year, the massive expansion that we went on, looking back, between the programme, the videos, doing the first videos like this on here with the camera, sitting myself, trying to get into the flow state and allow it to come through me, and try and not make it staged, and try and be authentic, and try and speak my truth, and at the same time, get the tools and techniques out there so we can help people. Massive and really sharp learning curve. Right from the very beginning, the live presentations, the one day to change your life, the programme being released, which was at the end of January, and the people that got on about that, and all the kind of the teething problems that we faced along the way. The Scottish tour, the fact that we did a Scottish tour last year, took it to the world and tried to help as many people as we can. The retreats, the ceremony retreats, the work we've been doing at the Vortex, with the Friday nights in, and the kind of good stuff that goes on up here with Boys Club, and so much good stuff. Towards the end of the year, the experience online, the amount of people going on about that, my intention again to try and help people find relief. The amount of stuff we did last year for free, which was great. That's the stuff that I seem to get the most out of. Helping people when there's really no exchange, you're really kind of giving a gift, which is really what this work is all about for me. So once you get it for yourself, then you really need to pass it on. That's the kind of deal that I made a long time ago. Get it for yourself, and then you pay it forward. And looking back over the course of the year, by the time it got to October time, I was kind of done and dusted. I picked up the everything virus, where I was really sick for, it was probably 6 or 7 weeks where I really wasn't right. Had every symptom you can imagine all at the same time, all the different flu symptoms and viruses and the sore bones and in bed, and just absolutely decimated. Wherever that came from, and for whatever reason, it managed to find its way into my system. But it was really kind of the end of the year for me. In the last probably 6 to 8 weeks of 2024, I was really in kind of hibernation mode. I was in cruising mode. I was just making my way through it, trying to make sense of stuff, and trying to find a way to get towards the end of the year and somehow find some sort of enthusiasm or inspiration again for 2025 coming up, because I always had a feeling this was going to be a really big year for myself, for the mission, for the Vortex, for the team, all of those that run about this. Always the real knowing that last year was about the foundations. And really putting all the work that we've gathered together over the years, and then kind of making sense of it, and then making it into some sort of a kind of palatable product that we could actually give to people. And now after getting through Christmas, which was fantastic, we had a fantastic Christmas leading up to it. Great to stop. It's the only time of the year my wife actually had business, which she's now had for this 24 years, 25 years. It's my 25th year of having this business. It's our wedding anniversary this year, 25 years. So we bought the nursery, her business, 2 or 3 weeks just before we got married. So that'll be her 25th anniversary of our business this year, and our wedding anniversary, 25 years. But this time, that 2-week period, is the only time where she is basically away from that, where the phone's not ringing, whatever it is, people not going to be showing up, and obviously the impact that has on her. And so that time of year, we look forward to every year, because it's the only time where the phones are not ringing in one way or another. And this year, because Michael and Fern were down in Spain, they're based down in Malaga just now. We made the decision to go down and see them we ended up spending 6 days down on the south coast of Spain just after Christmas, and it was a working holiday. First time we've been away since it was nearly 3 years, so when was that? It was too long ago, I know that much, but we had a fantastic 6 days. We did a lot of work when we were there. We looked at a possible venue for a retreat, a ceremony retreat, which massive pros but a couple of cons as well. And the dates, we're hoping to do something this winter, an international retreat this winter, over the next 2 or 3 months. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, but the wheels are in motion for towards the end of the year. Probably somewhere down that way, probably down Malaga. We're looking at going back over to Portugal, looking at probably March or April time to have a look at another couple of venues and doing something over there. So the holiday itself, got a wee bit of sunshine, 19-20 degrees every day. Malaga itself was just a fantastic city. We had a great time together. We had a bit of space, freedom from all the stuff that you need to deal with at home. Doug, the wains, the challenges of normal life, or the kind of the stuff that you need to be doing day to day. It was just nice to be away. It was nice to see my wife and spend some time with her. Something that is one of my biggest challenges, how little we really get to see each other. Especially, as how busy we've been over the last year. So having those 6 days, having a bit of space, getting a wee bit of sun on our back, I had a couple of beers, with a couple of glasses of sangria, which was absolutely fantastic. I don't really drink ever, I've not drank for alcohol. To me is just a poison. It's an absolute poison. Spirit, separating you from your spirit, separates you from your soul. The amount of people that I have met through this work, that their life is basically decimated because they went for one drink. I just went for one drink, and then before you know it, what unfolded over the course of that evening, and how it leads into impacting them for the rest of their life. So drink for me has never really been a big thing. But down there, on holiday, sitting with a wee glass of beer, and a nice wee the kind of tapas, and just kind of immersing yourself as part of the culture, just kind of seemed like the correct thing to do. It was absolutely fantastic. So we had a great time, with a lot of space, a lot of fantastic conversations, massive expansion in so many different fronts in terms of where we've been, where we're at, what we learned, what the lessons were along the way. But also, what the plan was for 2025 and how we're going to take that forward, which is what it's all about. It doesn't matter where you've been or what you've created up to that point. For me, it's always about what's next. What's next? How are we going to continue to take this mission to the world? How are we going to continue to evolve it so we can get it to the place where I really feel that it needs to be? Because, the results that we're seeing, and I still say it, I am seeing miracles almost every single day. The minute I get an opportunity to work with somebody and expose them to the stuff that's helped me over the years, and watching somebody go through that process, which is a reconnection process. All the stuff that I do, it's all about reconnecting back to the self, back into the authentic self, back into your heart, back into your soul, back into you, the real you. Know your name or your belief system, or your identity, the lower self, the ego self, but the higher self, back into the divine essence that we all carry inside every single one of us. That's what this work is all about. And that really needs to go to the world. I do feel, I've always felt that, and there's a real knowing of the power that's in it. I believe that I am a vehicle, I am a channel, I am someone who has seen both sides, so came for, you know, just the normal way of living, going to work, you know, paying the bills, being that guy, just normal levels of consciousness. And over the last 20 years, I've discovered a different way of doing things, and now at the point where I'm teaching it and sharing it with people from all over the world, and seeing the results that they're getting when they get on about this way of living, the way of living, the natural way, the natural path, which is a way I do believe that it's meant to be. You know, so going into 2025, and after much contrast and a fair bit of pain and suffering towards the end of the year, I've just been almost burnt out. So many times over the year, probably 2 or 3 times, I was like proper, almost burnt out. And then, you know, finally, when it got me, and I had to basically lie down and stop, which is a gift of God, it really was. It was fantastic, you know, getting the opportunity to basically stop for those 5 or 6 weeks when I really wasn't well at all, and seeing the gifts that were in that and having a lot of time for contemplation, which led up to, you know, what was going to be coming up. Not for myself, but a time, but a relaxation, recuperation, time for contemplation, meditation, tending to myself, getting a break from, you know, basically giving myself away, which I did all last year. And then really committing some time into myself to see what was next for me. Because the programme itself, you know, the stuff that I teach, it's all about, you know, getting it for yourself. That's the only thing I do believe we should be doing, is tending to the self and getting it for yourself. Once you master yourself, once you really get it for yourself, then it's time to pass it on and help other people, absolutely. But as I discovered last year, you know, even as much as I know and the experiences that I've had on so many different fronts, especially the spiritual realms, you know, where I would say literal enlightenment, when I discovered the divinity that's inside of me. Even when you know at that level, you know, sometimes life can absolutely get in the way and it can trip you up again, and you can get caught up in the matrix and all the challenges that brings with it. And that was me last year, without a question of a doubt, and it caught me. And as Abraham would say, the pain, the suffering, the contrast is a great teacher if you have the awareness to see it as, you know, where am I going wrong, what isn't working, and then, you know, through the power of intention, how you make it better. You know, that's what this is all about, intentional living, seeing what's going on in your life, working out why it isn't working out why you aren't feeling good, working out why you're suffering or struggling, and then that free will that we human beings are blessed with, the ability then to go and change, you know, make changes, go in a different direction, and, you know, go down a different road, all with the intention to put a smile on your face, and to fulfil your potential, and to get every single thing you came to get here in this life. I'm no different from anybody else. I'm here to fulfil my potential, and my potential is absolutely to take this work to the world. That's the plan for this year. And we were blessed last year. I was blessed that this mission was absolutely blessed last year with the people that run about it. Big thanks to those who are still here. There's been a lot of comings and goings for one reason or another. Special thanks to obviously Michael and Fern, who continue to make it happen in terms of the programme and the digital stuff that we're creating every single day. But also now to the inner circle. There are 9 of us now within the Vortex that are working on this almost every single day, all of us. Me, there's nothing else that I really do. This is my full-time, you know, vacation. You know, trying to find ways constantly. I found myself this morning about 3:30 this morning, you know, waking up and working on, you know, different things as to how I could make it better and how we can basically gift it to more people so they can find relief and start to find the solutions that are sorely lacking in this world just now. But the team that run about it, you know, and how that's evolved and where they've came from and who they are as human beings. Last year I started to have the realisation that there is only goodness run about this work, and that's something that people have really kind of caught onto, you know, the amount of goodness that's absolutely evident, you know, within the people that are run about this place just now. There is so much goodness. In fact, there is only goodness, and what we find is that people that come in that can't really keep up with it or don't do the work or don't commit to it and make it a way of life, you know, which it absolutely is, then they really don't seem to stick about for any length of time whatsoever. It's really interesting how it works. It takes work, this. It's dead simple, but it's no easy, and it absolutely takes work. You know, so now the inner circle and the team, and what we've been creating over the last 2 or 3 months, it's ready to get into 2025. I can't tell you how excited I am for everything that's about to unfold for all of us. Everybody who's contributing, everybody who's taking part, everybody who is a part of this mission. I believe in every single one of them. You know, it's like divine guidance. When you hear their stories and you hear where they're coming in from, and who they were before they found it, and what's happened to them to make themselves get on about this work, and then you see when they get on about the work and they start to bring the practices into their daily life, and then it becomes a way of life for them, and you see the massive expansion and the direct experiences, watching people reconnected back to their self, back to their heart, back to the soul, I could tell you probably a dozen people over the last year with this what they've literally became enlightened. And enlightenment simply means a direct experience of the divinity that's inside you, and that's inside every single one of us. I believe that human beings, in fact I know that human beings, we come from a divine space, God, source, consciousness, the divine mind, what you call it doesn't really matter, very difficult to even comprehend from the human mind. But those who have been drawn towards it, those who have been guided, into this mission, every single one of them, the singular desire is to help people. Once they have got it for themselves, then we need to be helping other people, and that's what this is going to be about this year, 2025. And this Godcast is all about, all focus is the light, all focus the light. 2025, all focus the light. The world is in chaos, decimation. I can't even imagine what it feels like to switch on the news and look at the news. I saw a wee tiny bit this morning, trying to avoid it, and I saw a wee bit on one of my feeds where you hear about the stuff that's going on in America and the stuff that's going on worldwide. And the last kind of quarter of the year, I had a good look at it in terms of the politics, and whether it was in the Middle East or to do with Russia and Ukraine, or what's going on in America, and even further afield than that. The whole world is in conflict just now. And I think it's important to see where it is. It's important to kind of check in every now and again and see how bad it is, even just to kind of realise that we are absolutely on the right path. And the amount of people around about me that are just absolutely buzzing with joy and happiness and really fulfilling their life and enjoying their lives and getting every single thing that they came here to get. Whereas at the same time, there are so many people suffering just now. And for us, who are standing in the light with solutions, once we've got it for ourselves, and the plan is to take it to as many people as possible and to help as many people as possible. And that's what 2025 is going to be all about. All focus the light, all focus the solutions. And coming up on the year anniversary of the programme, which was launched last January, the last kind of Sunday in January, we had a One Day to Change Your Life, which is, I suppose, anybody that's interested in this work, how people come in and how they've been coming in over the last 6 months. The first step for me, the best way would to be go through the experiences, I call it, which was online every Tuesday night. We had the experience online, which was basically me going in, explaining a wee bit about what it is that I do, what the intention was with the work, and then offering, this gift of functional breathing, learn how to breathe properly, intentional breathing, which is my system, reconnecting back into the heart, back into the soul, and then into meditation. And some of the results, some of the conversations that I had after it, some of the testimonials that people were getting back, some of the results that people were getting, and on every way you can imagine, from diseases disappearing, to being able to sleep for the first time, to switching off stress, to stop and being able to worrying. People really kind of finding their power inside probably 45 minutes to an hour every Tuesday night, just by simply going through the experience. And then once they came through that, then onto the workshops, whether it was a Friday night in, coming up and experiencing a wee bit of cold exposure and heat exposure, and getting on about me and the vortex itself, very important, to get in this space if you're interested in this work and feeling what it's all about, in person. And then the kind of, I wouldn't say it's the flagship, but it's probably one of the most significant days and one of the most significant events that I offer, which is One Day to Change Your Life. And One Day to Change Your Life, the first one was last January, and that's really a proper snapshot of everything that I teach, the entire programme, which continues to expand and is absolutely vast. When you look at it and you see people that are coming in and want to get on about it, it's really, really difficult for them, I think, to comprehend what it is they're actually signing up for. Because once you get through the first experience, you learn how to switch off your stress, you learn how to meditate, maybe a wee bit of cold exposure, if that's what's required. You start to become intentional with your life. You start to learn about the 3 pillars. You start to learn about the wheel of your life. You start to learn about, how it all goes together. Maybe they sign up for the programme and they come in and start to get on about the daily meditations, which last year we had 5 months every single day, 5:30 in the morning, live meditations, which are all recorded and all on the programme. You start to see people coming on about that and watching the changes, those that do the work and the impact that it makes on their lives and how happy they get, and a lot of them how joyful they get and how they start to really kind of get to that place of how it's meant to be. Then, the One Day to Change Your Life, for anybody that's interested in really having a massive shift, a massive change in one day, if you're ready for that, then One Day to Change Your Life is a fantastic workshop. And last January, the first one, we launched the programme. The programme was created inside probably 3 months with Michael and Fern and myself. We started recording the videos, we started documenting all the different things that I've been teaching, all the modalities, all the tools, all the techniques and stuff that had helped me on my healing journey. And then very quickly we put a kind of video course together. Very quickly, it was like probably hundreds, if not thousands of hours of work from all of us to put it all together. It was 24/7 most of last year. When I think of the time and effort that Michael and Fern put into it, myself included, which I'm doing anyway, I don't even class it as work, but when you see the other people and the commitment they had to it, Michael and Fern came in after seeing me speaking the year before at the Financial Freedom Summit. And then basically, gave up their jobs, sold their house, bought a big American RV, and decided to, come in here, not quite full time, they're still doing their own stuff as well. But the mission, the intention from them was to basically help me any way that they could by taking it to the world, So the programme was born last January with the 1 Day to Change Your Life, and it's been fascinating to watch the whole thing over the course of it. At the time, it was very much a kind of a learning process, a learning curve. I'd never done anything like that before, never really had the idea to make it digital and to record it so I could pay it forward and pass it on. It was always really about me kind of being in person, one-on-one, which I still think is my best way of, serving people. And serving through inspiration, not by giving myself away, but by serving other people with what I've learned. I think one-on-one is definitely the best way to do it. And the understanding of the impact that the videos have had, when people can basically tap into, there's hundreds and hundreds of hours now of live recorded meditations, all different types of music, all different types of themes, from being able to sleep properly, to switching off your stress, to how manifestation works. The intentional life. There's so much information on that now. Cold exposure, heat exposure, everything that I basically do in my life day to day has now been documented. And last year, putting all that together, and really feeling that it wasn't complete. I don't think anything is ever complete, especially when you're doing the work that we're doing, where you're basically getting into spirit every single day and then becoming inspired, and then following that trail for the rest of the day as to like, how can you make it better, how can you get it to more people, which was what last year was all about. How can we take this to the world? But really having the understanding that at some point, we're going to have to get to a place where I think it's going to be getting to now. It feels like it's almost going to be there, and the place where it's ready in terms of it's finished, even though there's going to be more being added to it. But this month, end of January, we're going to be going again, and version 2 of the programme is going to be launched on the last Sunday of this month, which I'm really excited about. The app is ready to go, so access is going to be much easier than it was last year. The new videos, the new content, the new information is going to be on there as well as so many different other things that I hadn't even considered up until very recently. We are now going to be having Qigong is going to be on every month, thanks to my sister, Sasha Mackenzie. I'm really looking forward to that, getting Qigong, the ancient practices, the ancient ways. My wife is going to be bringing yoga onto version 2 of the programme as well. So, live and recorded yoga classes every month, live and recorded Qigong classes every single month, and two or three other things I'm working on just now. We're going to be bringing in with the intention to make the programme so valuable as a tool for helping people with their life. That to not be on it would be absolute insanity. The price is still going to be, it's looking like £1 a day. That's what we're looking at. That exchange, it needs to be something. My thought always was that if you invest £1 in yourself every single day, then you'll actually do the work. If somebody's gave me £1, then I hoped that it was going to be enough motivation and inspiration to go, you know what, I need to go and invest in myself because I'm paying somebody for doing this. That was where the £1 a day came from. And then towards the end of last year, getting into December, leading up towards Christmas, the thought of January and the launch of V2, it was going to be the start of January, but I thought, why don't we leave it till the first year anniversary, and then let Christmas come and go. Everybody's clamouring for attention leading up to January. Everybody's looking for the New Year's resolutions and trying to get you to sign up for stuff. And I thought, why don't we just let people come, do what they always do in January. They sign up for stuff, nobody really sees it through. Let January kind of start off, get people back into work. And then by the end of January, with the anniversary of V1 of the programme, why don't we wait until V2 and launch it? And then sit in meditation probably a week before Christmas. My desire to help people, which is always there. I'm always trying to help as many people as possible. I had so much clarity with this. It came through probably 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, sitting in meditation. as to how I was going to do it. And it starts this Sunday with the Experience Live. The Experience Live is going to be done at New Lanark Hotel. It's a gift, it's free, it's a free event. 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. Every Sunday, the next 3 Sundays in January. And very simply, the intention is to bring people in and really let them see what all the fuss is about, let them see what the testimonials are about. If you go onto the Google, onto Google and look at the testimonials and see what people are actually saying about this and what it's doing to them inside one session normally, and then you see what people that are actually bringing it into their lives, and you can actually feel it in them, the impact that it's making on their lives, not just for them, but everybody around about them. And for me, January time, after Christmas, all the stress, all the strain, the financial burden, the amount of overwhelmment, even the desire to get up and going again is so challenging in January time. It's a really hard month. For me, I wanted something to look forward to. And the best way to do that for me has always been to serve people, serving them through inspiration. And that's where the Experience Live came from. I could have easily did the videos again, started the live videos, but I thought, you know what, why don't we take it to the next level? Anybody that's coming into it, why don't they come in, meet me in person, meet the team in person, and go through it actually live in person, which is completely different, especially if you're in a room with 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 other human beings. Lying on the floor, learning to breathe properly, sitting in meditation, reconnected back into your heart, out of your head so you can't even think, sitting in absolute bliss, sitting in that divine light of meditation. You put somebody into a room like that with 40, 50, 60, 70 people in it, it can literally change their life in ways that they never go back to the way it was before. It can have a quantum shift in consciousness in one day. So, every Sunday, free event, a gift to the world, New Lanark Mill Hotel, 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, that's what came through. And we put it together very, very quickly, and it starts this Sunday, and the response has been incredible. It really has, it's been absolutely fantastic. I can't thank you all enough. Those who have been sharing it, those who have been passing it on, those that have signed up for it already, the intention to come along and get around about it. Really excited to meet you all. And off the back of that, when it comes to the last Sunday, we're going to be talking about the launch of the programme, V2, which... for me, it now feels something that is absolutely ready. It's time to really kind of not just stand beside it, because we've always done that, but really get to a place where it feels like this is it, it's done now. The foundations that were put in place last year, all the work we've done, we're now in a position, not just with the programme and the mission and myself, where I'm at with it, with the team, Michael and Ferm, the inner circle. We now have a mentorship programme, so anybody that comes into the programme and signs up, they will be mentored one-on-one. This is all for your £1 a day, so somebody coming in, walking into those groups, walking into those meditations, even the language that I'm using, even the understanding of things like what consciousness means, when I'm talking about the divine light, when I'm talking about what God means, when I'm talking about meditation, it can be a wee bit overwhelming. In fact, it can be massively overwhelming for people coming in and don't know what it is, so there needs to be bridges being built, and now we have a team of apprentices. These are just incredible souls that run about this work, people that have been doing the work, some of them for 6 or 7 years. People that are there to help, people that are in it for the mission, they're not in it for themselves, which is very important. There are so many people out there. John Maguire said something to me last week about pop-up gurus, which are everywhere, people are over the last 2 or 3 years, and this is obviously very in vogue just now, the spirituality and the meditation. We saw it with the cold water exposure, how, the amount of people that came here for one session, and then they disappeared and they became experts. And that feeds into now obviously the meditation, the spirituality stuff. Everybody's into that. Well-being is such a huge thing just now. Why? Because the world's in the bones of its arse. And I look at what we've got, I look at what I've achieved, myself over the last 28 years, and how we've put this together, and what we're getting every single day. We never ever miss in terms of what people get with one experience, so the product that we've got, the power within it, the power within the vortex, the power within the mission, what it does to people and how it changes lives. Now we have people round about it who are now willing to help me. I realised last year that it couldn't be me. I didn't have it within me really to take it to the level that I had to go to, or it needed to go to. The world is in a place where there are so few solutions. Even when you look online, I'm not going to name names, but even at a world level, even the gurus that are talking about meditation and God, and you see them talking about it, and it sounds truth, and it absolutely is truth, I do believe, for many of them. But the challenge has always been, how do you then give that to somebody else? I can talk about this stuff all day. I can inspire anybody, even just by listening to my story and speaking my truth. People normally tune in and they go, you know what, that feels amazing, but unless you actually give somebody the experience of it and offer a bridge so they can get it for themselves, then it doesn't really matter, does it? And that's what this has been all about, building bridges and creating this programme so that anybody can come in, they can get the experience, and then after that they've got the support network in terms of the tools, the techniques, the videos, but also the mentorship, the apprentices that are around about it now who are going to bring people in and hold their hand, put the stabilisers on long enough so that you can get it for yourself. This is all about self-reliance. Getting to that place where you don't need anybody. I've been saying so often for so long now, that so many people are looking for love in all their own places. They're trying to get it for external to themselves, whether it's your partner, whether it's for your wains, whether it's for your friends. And this time just now, looking at the world and how bad it is and the challenges we're going to be facing that are coming up, which I do believe are going to get worse as we move forward into this year, then all focus needs to be on the stuff that makes it better. And looking at the world, there isn't really that many things online or many products or many kind of teachers even that make things better. There are so many snake oil salesmen out there, whether it's business gurus, selling, the latest like get rich quick scheme, or whether it's people talking about super consciousness and all that kind of just nonsense in terms of the shortcuts to get to that place that I don't think exists. Consciousness for me, the divine, that is it. To think there's a super consciousness above that doesn't make sense to me and never has done. And you see all these different buzzwords and all these kind of fake gurus, selling the stuff that they are basically looking to take money from you from, and nothing really changes. And this work, this internal practice, these internal ways, this way of living, this path, this natural path that we are on, I believe it's the way that it's meant to be. Back to basics and back to the way that human beings should be living in this life. This world should be a paradise. It really should be. But it isn't. And so many people are suffering. So many people are struggling. So many people are on the bones of their arse. So many people are suffering from anxiety and depression and overwhelmment. So many people are suicidal, especially this time of year after the madness that bloody Santa brings. So at that point, it's like, how can we help? And I think the shortcuts that I provide in here, the way that I do it, and the way that I managed to put it together over the last 28 years, it happens in one session. And again, I don't see that anywhere else in the world, how quick it happens, where people can literally come in, learn how to switch off their stress, get out their head, and then reconnect back into themselves, back into their heart and back into their souls. And at that point, when you understand how it goes together and the direct experience of it, the whole world literally changes. So obviously we're excited for that. We are on a massive kind of upswing just now. This is the year we take it to the world. That's the plan. There's nothing stopping us. There's enough people in about it. It's really now about a kind of sales and marketing. The sales to basically fund it, every single penny that comes through here. So anybody that's looking to sign up for V2, the programme, all the money that comes in is basically reinvested back into the programme so we can continue to expand it, so we can fund the market and so we can fund all the kind of different ways we're trying to make it happen so we can take it to the world so we can help people. So that's really, really exciting. And, without going on too much about it and talking about all the different ways we're going to help people, it's going to be coming. We've refined it now, we've got it right. I do believe I've got the product correct. I believe I'm at a correct stage. The team is there, the support network is there, all the different programmes, for the Friday night ins, to the experience, to the one day to change your life, to the ceremonies, whether they're in this country, whether it's abroad, the intentional living, being on the programme, the live meditations, the recorded meditations, the information on the videos. We've now got an entire structure, we've got an entire system which is all about intentional living. And that intentional living is all about taking back control, it's all about taking back your power, it's all about reconnecting back to a way of living that's the way that it's meant to be. And what I've seen so many times over the last year, when people get on about this work and they apply it to their life and they have the discipline, and Wayne Dyer used to say there's freedom and discipline. In fact, it was Jim Rohn said there's freedom and discipline. And that took me a wee bit to work out right in the beginning, but the freedom and discipline is you do the things that are required, so you do the discipline first, and then the freedom you get on the back of that, there's nothing like it, so tending to yourself, looking after yourself, learning the practices, learning the tools and techniques that are going to put a smile on your face, feeling good, well-being every single day. I do believe that's a choice. It's dead simple. It is no easy in the beginning, but once you learn the language, once you learn how it goes together, then very, very quickly, inside 2 or 3 days, when you learn how to sleep properly, you learn how to eat in a different way by taking away the inflammation, you learn to see the things like the effects that Wi-Fi is having on you, whether it's 4G or 5G or fucking 6G, whatever it is, you start to see with awareness the negative impact that they are having on you, whether it's them, your loved ones, your inner circle, your friends, your family, whether it's the television, whether it's social media, People are ignorant, they don't know. They basically wake up and do the same things every single day. They're the same thoughts every single day. They do the same stuff every single day. And guess what? They get the same results every single day. And that's not living with intention. That's living under hypnosis. That's living by being programmed from childhood. Set up into a system that's been designed from who knows when, way back when, to keep you in bondage, to keep you locked down, to keep you suppressed, to keep you in ignorance, to keep you lost from the way that it's meant to be. And all the while, for those of us that know, there's a different way of doing it, there's a different way of living, and it's so natural and easy and freeing that it's for everybody, and that's exciting to me. So that's the plan this year, to take it to the world, to help as many people as we can, by learning these tools and techniques, by offering the support long enough so you can get it for yourself. It's all about self-reliance. I was asked yesterday about the programme. What is the programme? What is it you teach? What's your programme? And really the programme becomes your programme. Which sounds a wee bit cheesy, but it isn't. Because my programme, the things that I do every single day, people ask me all the time, what do you do? And Tony Robbins, back in 1997, I heard him say, like, do you really want to know, or are you just asking? Because the things that it takes to do what I do every single day, whether it's the breath work, the meditation, the cold exposure, the heat exposure, how I eat. If I was to show you how I make my juice every single morning between, the litre of water with an organic lemon in it to start my day every single day, that happened at 4 o'clock this morning. And then the celery juice, 15-20 minutes after it, and then the heavy metal detox smoothie, and then everything else that goes into it. The intentional life is dead simple, but it's no easy. But for those who are seeking, for those who have got reasons, for those who are struggling, normally those who find this work are on the bones of their arse. So when I meet somebody who's suicidal, who's lost everything, they've actually lost everything, and they've got nothing left, at that point I normally think, great, because the work that's required to get to the place that you're able to get to, it absolutely takes work. But more importantly, it takes reasons and a why. What's your reasons and what's your why? So for those who are suffering, those who are struggling, those who have been through all sorts of pain and suffering, decimation, whatever it is, over the last wee while, please know there is a way. There absolutely is a way to make it better. There absolutely is a way to get back to the way that it's meant to be. I believe that human beings come in with a divine mission inside of us. Wayne Dyer used to say, you sign up for it before you come. You almost make a contract with God that once you come here, you're going to basically fulfill your potential. And for whatever reason, that doesn't seem to kind of work out the way that it's meant to be for most people. The minute you're born, the vaccinations, the medications, the school system, the workplace, the bondage of mortgages, the bondage of, the damage that diet can do, and illness and all that kind of where most people are living just now. So many people are sick, so many people are struggling just now. And again, all the while, when you're looking in and you're going, you know what, there is a way to make all this better. There's a way to fix the entire world. The mission with this work, the Vortex, is literally to heal the world. That's the plan, is to take it to the world and help as many people as we can. Because the light of the divine, the light of the way, the natural path, the way that it's meant to be, that field of consciousness and the way that it comes through, it fixes every single thing that it touches when you understand how it works. Even the concept of God, which when you talk about it and you say, even I say it still, I still feel like the whole religious God, and the separation of the religions and how that's going together. You see it in the world just now. They talk about a world war. The world war that I see is a holy war. And that's what they're trying to do just now. They're trying to turn religion against religion. It's absolutely insanity. And for me, what I've experienced, through the spiritual practices, through experiencing enlightenment, you get to actually see that at a certain level of consciousness, every single one of us is connected at a certain level. We are all in the field. We are all part of the divine. We all come from the same source. We all carry it inside of us. When we die, we absolutely go back to it. So at the same time, why can we not get it in this lifetime? Being awake and aware, conscious and deliberate, and going after that process that some people call enlightenment. My plan is to take enlightenment to the world, to make it normal, to normalise enlightenment, to normalise God, to normalise meditation, to show the path, to show the bridge, so that anybody can get that. I always say, if I can get it, anybody can get it. So at that point it becomes really, really exciting. We're excited for the year ahead. The entire team, the apprentices, the mentorship programme, V2, the programme, everything that's coming up. The experience live over the next 3 Sundays is going to be fantastic. With over 80 people signed up, just over the last 24 hours, people want to come and get around about it. People want to come and basically, learn a different way of living. Why? Because they're broken. Why? Because they're suffering. Why? Because they're in a place where they know it's meant to be different. And here's us standing here, with nearly 3 decades of direct experience and whole loads of trauma and decimation and heartbreak and heartache, but now standing on the other side, out the other side and going, you know what, this is what happened to me. This is how I got through it, and this is the way that I do believe that anybody can get it. And at that point, the world will change. Absolutely know it. The way is the way, the truth, the light, the answers, the solutions is what it's all about. I am absolutely blessed. I am so grateful for those that are standing beside me. We have an entire team now. The plan is to take it to the world. The plan is to help as many people as we can. And that's what's happening in 2025. All focus is on the light. All focus is on the solutions. I'm excited to share with you all the good stuff that's going to be coming up. I'm going to keep this one brief because there are so many different topics I'd like to do independently on their own as individual broadcasts. So for now, we're done and dusted. I wish you and yours all the best for the year ahead. If you're coming to the experience live for the next 3 Sundays in New Lanark Hotel, please get excited. The only thing you need is an open heart, an open mind, and a wee bit of water for drinking. God bless you and yours. Take it easy. Peace out, and bye for now.